Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a single comma, like just completely destroying a lifelong friendship.
Oh, wow.
I know it sounds incredibly dramatic, but linguistically speaking, it actually happens all the time.
Right, yeah.
So today, we are custom tailoring this deep dive specifically for you, right as you prep for your grade 11 Get Involved Unit 2 exam.
And the theme of your unit is Friends for Life.
Right, exactly. So our mission is to extract the exact grammar nuggets you need to ace this test.
Huh.
We're tossing out the dense textbook jargon to just, understand the actual mechanics behind the rules.
Which is so important because language isn't just like a hurdle for a test score.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the framework for how we process our relationships. So to start, we really have to look at how we define who our friends actually are.
Right.
Which naturally brings us to adjective clauses.
Yeah, and when I look at the source material, I see these clauses basically functioning kind of like the architecture of a house.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, you have your essential adjective clauses, which act like load-bearing walls. Like if you say, the friend who helped me is great, that phrase who helped me is holding up the entire meaning of the sentence.
Right. Because if you remove it, the sentence just collapses into the friend is great.
Exactly.
And which friend? I mean, we have absolutely no idea.
And we get totally lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because that information is structurally vital, it's built flush against the noun. So there are no commas used.
Okay, but then you have non-essential adjective clauses, right?
Yes. And these just provide extra, bonus information. For example, my best friend who lives next door is great.
So that is basically the decorative painting on the wall, or, the window drapes.
Precisely. Like, it's nice to know they live next door, but the house stands just fine without it.
And because it is just decorative, we frame it with commas. Wait, but I have to ask a clarifying question here.
Sure, go for it.
If I use commas because the friend's location is just decorative, does that actually restrict the words I can use? Because that feels like an essential only word to me.
Okay, what's fascinating here is that your intuition is exactly right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this is the ultimate trap your exam is going to set for you. In English grammar, the word that is a restrictive pronoun, its entire job is to lock tightly onto an essential noun.
Right, okay.
But a comma creates a literal pause, a physical break in the sentence.
Ah, I see. So the comma breaks the lock.
Precisely. The pause breaks the structural lock that the word that literally requires. So in those load-bearing essential clauses without commas, you can easily swap out who or which for that.
Makes sense.
But in non-essential clauses, the ones framed by commas, using that is strictly forbidden because of the pause. You're forced to use the looser, more flexible pronouns, like who or which.
Wow, that makes total sense now. So rule number 1 for the listener, if you see commas framing the description, drop the net.
Definitely. So adjective clauses help us figure out who our true friends are.
But friendship isn't just about describing people, right? It's about what we do for them.
Exactly.
Let's look at the grammar of action, which brings us to pronouns. Specifically, reflexive pronouns versus each other.
Right. So we are shifting from description to interaction here. Reflexive pronouns, words like myself, yourself, themselves, are used when the subject and the object of the action are the exact same entity.
Like saying, I taught myself to play guitar.
Yeah. Psychologically, it basically centers the ego.
Here's where it gets really interesting. It's almost the grammar equivalent of taking a selfie.
Oh, a selfie.
Yeah, you're holding the camera, and you are the one in the picture. The action loops right back to you.
I love that. And each other acts entirely differently. Each other implies equity.
Right.
It's reciprocal, kind of like playing a game of catch. Two people are doing the exact same action, but across to the other person. Like, we help each other.
The selfie versus the game of catch.
It perfectly illustrates the difference between solitary action and, shared equity.
Yeah. But I actually have to challenge this game of catch analogy.
Oh, how so?
Because exams love to blur the lines with plural scenarios. Like, if a whole group of friends chips in to buy a gift, they aren't throwing the ball to one another.
That's true.
They're acting as a single unit. So how does the grammar handle that? How do I know whether to pick themselves or each other on the test?
Well, you have to look really closely at the direction of the action within that group. If the group of friends pooled their money and bought a gift for their own group, the action never leaves the subject unit.
Ah, so they treated themselves.
Exactly. The ego of the group is centered. But if friend A bought a gift for friend B, and friend B bought a gift for friend C.
Oh, then the action is actively crossing the space between individuals.
Spot on. And that is when you use each other. If we connect this to the bigger picture of your Friends for Life theme, it beautifully highlights the difference between independent survival and mutual reciprocal support.
That is brilliant. So what does this all mean for you on test day? Here is your ultimate exam checklist. Number 1, look at the walls of the sentence. Is the description an essential load-bearing wall or just decorative window drapes?
2, watch the commas. Remember the lock. If there is a comma, the pause breaks the lock and the word that is forbidden.
And 3, track the action. Are they taking a selfie themselves or are they passing equity back and forth in a game of catch each other?
Keeping those structural mechanisms in mind is going to help you navigate the exam perfectly.
Absolutely.
But as you prepare, this raises an important question to mull over.
Oh, what's that?
Well, if grammar forces us to strictly define what is essential versus non-essential information, how much does the language we speak secretly dictate how we value the people and details in our own lives?